Let's talk Halloween 2016. Hello and a happy Halloween to those who celebrate that and to those who don't celebrate it and maybe do a more toned down version of it or not at all. I hope you have a good time. I hope you think about your loved ones and that you take care of each other, whatever you do, whether you choose to party or remembering people who you've lost. I hope you have a productive or giving weekend. I'll release this a little bit earlier than it's supposedly will be. I will be doing both. I will be both partying and taking my time remembering people that have left me or left this sphere and showing respect to them. So there's no reason you can't have both, even though some will claim otherwise. In Sweden we actually have two different dates. One for, visiting your potential graveyard or rememberings place. I'm not sure what the word is for it. Minneslund anyway, where you scatter the ashes and come back to, contemplate. But we have one date for that, and then we have one date where we have sort of embraced the American tradition of Halloween, where people will dress up, go party, go house to house for candy and stuff like that. So there's no reason, there's room for everything, just be respectful. If you hear weird noises in the background here, it's because I am actually having a marathon running on the television screen in the lounge with just crappy 80s and 70s slasher films. Right now I do believe it's The Ice Cream Man from 1995 though. But anyway, so nothing's going on in the background, don't worry about it. It's just for the occasion. I've got a slasher marathon running in the background. And speaking of that, I would like to take this opportunity to recommend what I would consider being a few underrated horror movies for the occasion for this weekend. So if you decide to have friends over, if you want to watch something alone in the dark for the occasion, I do want to recommend a few titles. Hopefully, I can never be sure anymore, but hopefully I can show off, copies of DVDs that I have without getting copyright infringement thrown at me, but who the hell knows these days. So anyway, the first movie I would like to recommend is a movie called April's Fool's Day. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, that's really glimmering. So, this is from 86. It's an American horror movie. I believe they're all American, unfortunately, but hey, there you go. This is not a movie that comes up very often when you think about slasher movies and horror movies, and it's sort of I find it to be rather. I liked it. I really liked the setting. I liked the characters. There's some pretty good acting in there. Biff is in here from Biff Tannen. I'm sorry, please, actor, don't feel bad about me calling you Biff Tannen. I do apologize. So, he's actually in here. Hilarious. He's a fantastic actor. I should really look up so that I can... Oh, they don't even name the actors on here. That is crap. But anyway, I recommend it. It's good fun. A bit unusual, I thought. And for once, the characters are actually characters that you care about. I would say, at least. The lead girl is also from... it's Ginny from... I think her name is Amy Steele, if I'm not misremembering. A beautiful, rather talented actress from... she was featured in Friday the 13th Part 2. And that's also one of my favorite, Friday the 13th girls. She could kick some butt, and she peed herself out of fear, which I appreciate, because that is what you would do. Damn it. But then she fought back, you know. So this is a cool one. I thought it was high quality making. The ending is controversial, and it pisses some people off, and you know, renders the whole movie worthless to them. It didn't for me. I like it. It's got a twist ending. So that's my first recommendation. The other one. Damn it, if this isn't also from 86. Let me just check. I think it is. I can't figure out now, but I think it's actually like from the same year or a year after or something like that. This is, oh god, it does get Witchboard. This is a great movie. Also kind of well made. It has great characters again. It has, you know, characters that you can relate to, even though, well, the douchebag is still sort of, yeah, he's, you know, annoying in a douchebaggy way, but he's also like, you know, they evolve and they have arcs, and you can still sort of, you know, relate. It's like the kind of douchebag who's like, he's painted himself into a corner where he's just like, you know, he started being a douchebag and now he can't sort of stop. You know, it's like when you try to fix something and just keep making it worse and worse by trying to fix it, kind of thing. The girl, who is incredibly beautiful young woman in this time, when this was made, is Tawny Kitaen. I have no idea how to pronounce her last name. She was apparently in a lot of like bad music videos, like Whitesnake or whatever they call. I don't listen to that, but and she was also, unfortunately, further on in her life, she was charged with beating her husband, I think. So therefore, I'm like reluctant. I don't want to promote things with people like that because they're. But then again, I don't know about the allegations or what really happened, so we're just going to skip that whole thing. The movie is great. It has a superb bromance. Movies like this don't get made anymore because it's like so many today. You can't, you know, oh, boys can't be friends without having, you know, insults thrown to them, or they be considered watched in a certain way. Whatever, man. These people are more real to me than many that are made today. And it has some great, cool effects and scenes. It has stupid scenes too, no doubt about it. But it is absolutely non-stop entertainment. Then we have... Maybe this is also from 86. I swear I didn't mean it to... That it just happened. This is the Swedish cover. So that title may not say anything to you, but you might recognize the cover art. This is House. This means, look, we are ghosting, or because there was a whole line of films where it was like, look, we are. It was I think it was both Mel Brooks and like the Zucker Brothers comedic things. So this is a horror comedy. And really quite charming. It also has some really nice characters. It has some really weird just scenes that just feel so not out of place, that they don't belong, but rather odd. It's really a screwbally odd thing, and it's kind of about a Stephen King-esque writer who's had a troubled past. There's some serious bits to it as well, which is why it works so well as it does, in my opinion. And it's William Catt playing the author, and he's always charming, I think, in what I've seen him in anyway. And he has like a troubled... He's had a troubled past, and he's trying to write his new book, and he's being pestered by his new neighbor. He's inherited this house where his like aunt or something killed herself in, and he discovers that it's like a portal to another world there and stuff like that. And he gets put into these bizarre situations, and also great like effects, fun stuff. It's very imaginative. So that's another one. And then finally, now this is one of these collection DVDs where you can get like 3 discs, 3 movies on 1 disc, or if it's like 3 discs in it, I don't remember. I don't look at these every day. But anyway, so this is also like you probably recognize the characters on there, except for the last one. I don't think you recognize that, because it's a rather rare movie. But so this is actually the Amityville Horror. This is Silence of the Lambs, and this is what is called an experiment of horror or something, or a horror experiment. It doesn't even make sense, the Swedish. Even though I speak it, it's hard to like try and translate it. Anyway, this is what is called Monkey Shines in English. It is actually a George A. Romero film from... damn it, I can't tell. So anyway, it could be from the 90s even, early 90s, I think. It is about a guy, also rated great acting in this one as well, who gets hit by a car and ends up bound to a wheelchair, and he gets a helper monkey out of all things. There's this little monkey that has been trained to help people with their daily lives. So he has this little monkey help him to like shave. She gets him things, and I think she can like she uses the phone and to call people and give push buttons and stuff like that. And it's also like a love story, and they develop. He has a love story with another woman. It's one of the few films that actually has a really great oral sex scene, believe it or not. So for that alone, hello, fantastic. Meaning him going down on her, or well, she actually has to like slide upon him then because he is paraplegic. Is that the right word? I don't want to make a fool out of myself. But it has some great acting. It has some fun scenes, some good suspense. I don't condone, or I really despise animals being used for films, but they don't do anymore. I mean, they're basically, this was in a time where they've started to like it's not, they don't belong there. It's not their world. So I definitely don't think that you should get or promote or support anything that contains animals who should be wild and kept in the wild today, if you ever see like a film like that today. But these animals are all retired by now, and they can't, they don't, from what I understand at least, the protection of animals in film industry is working to not have any new ones taken into the industry at all, and if they are in the industry, it's because they cannot be put back into the wild where they belong. So anyway, it's a very unusual film. I had no idea really what it was about. I bought it for the other 2 films, and that was just the bonus one, and I ended up liking that quite a lot. I mean, Silence of the Lambs is a classic, so of course that's always a recommendation. I think the Amityville Horror is rather boring, but this one, check it out if you can come across it, because it's really unusual and really very well acted and interesting. It's just an interesting idea. It could be a Stephen King story. If it isn't, it could definitely be. So those are my recommendations. I love tons of horror movies, but I think these are 3 or 4, was it? My bad. That are really underappreciated, that I really like people to check out if they can. As for costume this year, I am working on a Poison Ivy costume, since I have a lot in common with her, I feel. Last year I went as a Starfleet personnel, which was cool. My backup plan is going as a carrot. Yes, a carrot.